Hey everyone, this is my office supply mortar or missile launcher. It's pretty cool because it has 4 barrels, an aiming system, 2 ammo compartments, and a trigger. I'll just show you some different angles. You can see the 4 barrels from the front. And the side here, these are just for support, as well as these are for looks and for support of the barrel. They're called 1-inch prong fasteners. Your ammunition are these ink cartridges. The way that you load it up, you slide them down the barrel one at a time, and you want to make sure that they gravity feed down the barrel and they want to be touching the black portion of the stapler. Then you want to take your trigger, and there's a little catch here, this hook. You're going to hook on to that black portion and then hook on right here. So there you go. And then you want to make sure the ammunition slides down the barrel. You can see how those slid down there. And they're resting on that portion. And then if you want to change your arc, you just move this. And without it, it would sort of just move all over the place. So it's important that you have this arc system thing. And then when you want to fire, just aim and press down on this. So it fires them pretty hard, and with the arc you can get some pretty accurate shots. They're weighted in the front, so they're going to fly fairly straight, and I'll show you guys real quick how to make it. For this project you'll need pliers, needle nose pliers, 4 hexagonal shaped pen tubes, and you can see they're very nice because they'll fit inside of the binder clips and they'll stack on each other on the flat edges. You'll need a full-size stapler, the ultra-fine pen cap, 1 protractor, and 4 compasses. These 3 items you can get from the dollar store. You'll need some really small O-rings. I got these in an assortment pack from Harbor Freight. You'll also need 2 large binder clips, 15 medium, 2 small, and 8 micro. You also need this 1-inch prong fastener. It has an adhesive side. You peel off this piece of paper here and you can stick it to the surface of your barrel. And you're going to need 3 of these, although I would recommend just buying the pack just because you're going to be using these in my future projects, I'm sure. As well as these 2-inch prong fasteners. This is going to serve as your catch, and it's nice because they're very sturdy and easy to work with. And of course you'll need some duct tape. First, what you want to do is modify your stapler. Disassemble it and remove or bend these little tabs out of the way because they're going to obstruct your barrel. I cut mine off with a Dremel tool. Then what you want to do is to preserve this little piece of plastic here. You can see how fragile it is. You have that really tiny slab of plastic, and if that breaks, this thing's ruined. So you want to sandwich this in between 4 of these O-rings, 2 on each side. So to do that, you want to add the bar back in and put on your spring. Hold that in place. Add 2 wash of the O-rings. Then you want to make sure you put this back on with these 3 bars facing backwards. So that goes on like that. And then you want to add 2 more of the rings. Okay. Put this back into the barrel, making sure that the O-rings stay on. And then to keep this in place, you want to put this pin back through, and then just slide this portion back on, and it just pops in there. Don't worry about it. It probably won't break, and if it does, it doesn't really matter because this is all dollar store stuff. There we go. Okay, so now you see the O-rings are in place and it's protected the little bumper system so it doesn't break off. Okay, very simple. Next, what you want to do is build your trigger. Now your trigger is sort of complicated. You want to take one of these 2-inch prong fasteners and you want to cut a portion using a tool. You can use tin snips, or if you have like wire cutters or something, you want to take that and you want to make it, you sort of need to eyeball it. I would say it's about 1.5 inches. You can see. So you want to cut that, bend the tabs down just a little bit to make a hook, and then bend it one more time around one of these mini binder clips. You can see right here. So you can see how it's hooked. It sort of looks like a Z, and you want to bend that backwards so that it doesn't slide out. And then to stabilize it, you use some duct tape. Keep it in place. And this is a little complicated here. This is your catch. This is what's grabbing onto this portion of the stapler here. It's very important that you make this very precise. And all it has to do is really be this angled portion. What I did is I put mine in a vise, pinched this in, and then slowly bent it using the tools to hold it in place. And it basically just needs to be hooked enough so that it'll grab onto this portion of the stapler so that it'll slide like this. And that's how you would fire it. And you can also add one more mini binder clip here, and that will serve as a nice surface for your trigger. And remember, this is how you would fire it. You would take your catch here, pull back, and then it hooks on like so. So if you don't want to fire, you can actually have this can be completed right now if you'd like. You can fire staples as soon as you cut this portion here. And staples are kind of cool because if they're long portion staplers sort of like this, whenever they hit, they'll explode because they'll break apart. So that's an option if you don't want to go for the full project. This is pretty simple, but I like the way the full one looks. But if you want to fire different ammunitions, you can always disassemble the barrel and just fire regular staples. So it just goes like that, and then to fire, you just push this down. But of course, you don't have that aiming system and all those other features that are pretty cool. So next, what you want to do is take your protractor. Your protractor is right here. It's going to have this little handle that's on there. You want to cut that off, and then I sanded mine nice so that it didn't have any jagged edges or anything. And then what you want to do is attach your protractor to the bottom of the stapler here. So what you want to do is get some of these micro binder clips, and you take your protractor, and I don't have a second protractor on hand, but right here you have these little tabs here. You just want to go like that, and you can see how I have it sort of assembled. You have your two micro binder clips holding the protractor on there, and then to keep everything symmetrical, you want to add another two so that it's not offset. And then I believe there's one more right in here, right underneath these medium-sized binder clips. So you'll need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 micro binder clips right there. And then you'll need, if you don't want to have these things here, you don't need them. It's just for looks, and I think it adds some support, because you definitely need the medium binder clips here, so these two to keep and then one on the back here to keep this thing anchored on here. Next, what you do is you build the barrel. These are 2 large binder clips, but first you want to add 2 medium-sized binder clips on the inside. So there's 2 mediums here. One's here, another one. No, these are both the same, sorry. This is just 2. And then you'll need another 2 large binder clips to clip over top of those, and they'll be sandwiched in between, so you'll have the medium below and are inside of the large. Okay? And then what you do, the reason you do that is because you want to bridge the gap between this barrel here, and for that to happen you need to have this large binder clip hanging off the edge of the actual stapler itself. So you can see stapler actually ends, you can take this out if you like, staple ends right there. Okay, so to add this in, you would just sort of go like this and slide it in. Very simple. So there you go. Now for your added barrel, just take this out and show you. You're going to need 3 medium-sized binder clips, 4 of these hexagonal tube pens. They need to be hexagonal because otherwise, you see how they sort of stack on each other, the flat edges? That's important, otherwise they'll want to shoot out. And then you want to get these 1-inch fasteners. They have an adhesive side, and you don't need these, although it keeps the whole thing structured, because now these 3 binder clips are attached to each other and they're not going to move around, and I think it makes it look cool as well, just having the metallic look. And then if you want, this is the portion of the protractor that's used for like pushing into the paper. That'll actually fit right in between these barrels here. You don't need it, but I thought it looked kind of cool, so that's an added feature. And then to put it in there, you just sort of bend this down and push it in place. And there you are. And then you can put your ammunition here. And you can also store 2 ammunitions in the top barrels there. And then for the protractor, you'll just need a little bit of duct tape. Literally just one wrap around. You don't want it to go like twice around. You want to just wrap it once and cut it off, and then add this pen cap. Add a small binder clip to the pen cap portion. You can see right here, pretty simple. And you're going to need to wiggle it down the barrel, so you might want to put this on before you put the protractor into the stapler, but it's whatever, it doesn't matter. And then you can see how this little tab here grabs onto that small binder clip whenever you raise it. And I think that's it. Of course, if you would like, you can use 4 compasses. See, I used 4, and they're stacked on each other, 2 on each side. You can use no compasses at all, although I think that it keeps this a lot more stable when it's firing, and it looks cooler, sort of like a missile pad or something like that. But you can use 2 or you can use 4. I'd recommend 4 just because it gives these binder clips something to grip onto more so than just 1. So depending on how much you want to spend and how much you have already at your disposal will make up for how your missile launcher looks, or mortar. I'm going to show you guys a real quick test fire again. You have your firing clip, grab onto the shuttle, make sure your ammunition slides back. You can adjust your sight and your aim, arc, aim at your target, and fire. So you can see it fires pretty easily and has enough power, so it's going to have enough accuracy and distance, especially with this little arc system. And because these are weighted at the front, this little plastic portion, they'll fly pretty straight, and you won't hurt anyone because they're blunt tips. You might just mark up their white shirt, which would be pretty funny. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Please feel free to share this on whatever social media site you use, and also click that like button. Thanks for watching.